All right, the very last piece of this thingy is word problems. This is part E, not part D. I know my alphabet. Okay. Crafts. So we have here the polynomial x cubed plus 7x squared minus 38x minus 240 expresses the volume in cubic inches of the shadow box. Okay. If you look at the shadow box, the width is given. So it tells us the width. The width is x plus 5. Like any other word problem, you want to make sure you identify any variables you need, any given information. So we know our width is x plus 5. We know what our volume is. So we know the volume. We know the equation for volume of a rectangular prism is length times width times height. It wants to know what are the dimensions of the box. So if I have my width and my volume, what operation can I use to find my length and my width, my length and my height? I have multiplying, so the opposite of multiplying is division, right? So I'm going to use division. At this point, I have the choice. If I'm dividing x cubed plus 7x squared minus 38x minus 240 divided by x plus 5, I have the choice to do long division or synthetic division. The reason why is because this is a linear divisor. So when possible, I choose synthetic. If you're a long division person, by all means, use long division. X plus 5 means that my x equals -5. So in my house goes -5. My coefficients are 1, 7, -38, and -240. And then I begin. Bring down my 1. -5 times 1 is -5. 7 minus 5 is 2. -5 times 2 is -10. -38 plus -38 plus -10 is -48. 5 times -48 is positive 240. And that gives me 0. So I know that my quotient is 1x squared plus 2x minus 48. So I'm going to factor that to find my length and my width. So we have x squared plus 2x minus 48. So I'm asking myself, what multiplies to give me -48, but adds to give me 2? What multiplies to give me 48, but adds to give me 2? Positive 8 and a -6. Agreed? So the hint it says is my length is greater than my height. So that means my length has to equal x plus 8, and my height has to equal x minus 6. So my full volume equals length times width times height. So x plus 8 times x plus 5 times x minus 6. Length times width times height. Okay. Part B, it says, if the width of the box is 15 inches, what are the other two dimensions? So remember, our width equaled x plus 5. If I now know what it's equal to, I can solve for x, right? So what does x have to be? So x equals 10. So I now know that x equals 10, so I can use my length. Length equaled x plus 8. If I plug in 10, 10 plus 8 equals 18 inches. Height equal x minus 6. I plug in 10. 10 minus 6 equals 4. So my box is a 18 by 15 by 4 box. I'm just going to put in parentheses and write inches. All right, so you're going to do what we just did for part A, not for part B. on example 2. Okay, so if you look here, it's another volume. So it gives you your volume. And we know volume again is length times width times height. It gives us our height. So to find the other dimensions, we have to use division. So hopefully you chose to use synthetic. So -1, and we have 1, 6, 11, 6. We're going to bring down our leading coefficient. -1 times 1 is -1. 6 minus 1 is 5. -1 times 5 is -5. 11 minus 5 is 6. -1 times 6 is -6. And we end up with 0. So our quotient is 1x squared plus 5x plus 6. So to find our length and our height, we have to factor that. So we have x squared plus 5x plus 6. So it multiplies to give me 6, but adds to give me 5. 2 and 3. X plus 2 times x plus 3 are my height and my length. So we know the volume equals our length, which is x plus 3, times our width, which is x plus 1, times our height, which is x plus 2. So there are dimensions of the box. How do you feel? All right. Unit 8 is done, son.